Some moments of kindness don't arrive with noise or applause. They slip quietly into ordinary nights and leave behind extraordinary changes. And this story begins on one of those nights, a night that could have ended in embarrassment, fear, or regret, but instead became the turning point of two lives that had no idea they were about to collide. This is a story about a devoted single father, a powerful woman hiding quiet loneliness, and one simple act of courage that neither of them realized would rewrite their future forever. Before we begin, if you enjoy emotional, inspiring stories about kindness, humanity, and unexpected love, please take a moment to subscribe to True Stories by M, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us bring more meaningful stories to people who need them the most. Now let's begin. Noah Mitchell never imagined he would be raising a child on his own. Life had handed him that reality 3 years earlier on a silent, ordinary morning when his wife passed away unexpectedly, leaving him alone with their 5-year-old daughter, Grace, and a heart full of questions that never found answers. Since that day, Noah's world became simple but heavy: work hard, come home on time, be present, be gentle, and never let Grace feel alone in a world that had already taken too much from her. He worked as a senior operations director at a large marketing firm in downtown Chicago, a job that paid the bills and offered stability but never demanded glamour. Noah wasn't the loudest voice in meetings. He didn't chase promotions or linger late for attention, because at exactly 5:30 every evening, no matter what, he shut down his computer, grabbed his coat, and went to pick Grace up from after-school care. And though he didn't know it, someone noticed everything. Her name was Claire Hamilton, the CEO of the company. At 39, Claire had built the firm from a small startup into a national powerhouse. She was respected, admired, and often feared, known for her sharp mind, tailored suits, and ability to command any room she entered. But behind closed doors, behind the success and recognition, Claire carried a loneliness she rarely acknowledged. Dating had become a cycle of disappointment, men intimidated by her success or eager to control it, and each failed attempt left her retreating further behind carefully built walls. From the moment Noah joined the company 2 years earlier, Claire had noticed him, not because of ambition or charm, but because of his quiet decency. That Friday evening, Claire agreed to a dinner date she didn't truly want. A man named Victor, a well-connected investor her friends insisted was a perfect match. The restaurant was upscale, crowded, filled with polished laughter and clinking glasses. At first, Victor seemed charming, but within minutes, the charm curdled. He interrupted her, dismissed her thoughts, joked about powerful women being difficult, and ordered her meal without asking. By the time their food arrived, Claire felt trapped. When she checked her phone, hoping for an escape, Victor leaned in and smirked, telling her to relax, that she wasn't going anywhere. Noah didn't think. He moved. He walked straight to the table and said calmly, "Claire, there you are. Grace has been asking for you." Claire looked up startled, confusion flickering for a split second before understanding washed over her. She stood immediately, forcing a relieved smile, apologizing quickly as she said she had forgotten she needed to leave. Victor scowled, told her to sit down, said they weren't finished. Noah stepped closer, his voice steady and controlled, telling him she was leaving. Victor puffed himself up, demanding to know who Noah was. "I'm her ride," Noah replied simply, and the room went silent. That night didn't end with dramatic words or promises, but something had already shifted between them. Outside the restaurant, the city lights reflected off the pavement as Claire stood there trying to steady her breathing. Her hands were still trembling, not from fear anymore, but from the sudden realization of how close she had come to feeling powerless. Noah stood beside her quietly, not crowding her space, not asking questions she wasn't ready to answer. Grace stepped closer, holding her father's hand, and looked up at Claire with innocent curiosity. Claire smiled down at her, and in that simple moment, something inside her softened in a way she hadn't felt in years. She thanked Noah again, her voice low and sincere, and he simply nodded, telling her that sometimes people just need someone to show up. As the days passed, that night lingered between them, unspoken but alive. Conversations at work became warmer, longer. Coffee breaks turned into shared smiles, quiet laughs, and moments that felt surprisingly natural. Noah still left every day at 5:30, still centered his world around Grace, and Claire admired that more than anything else. She watched how Grace ran into his arms after work, how Noah listened to her stories as if nothing else mattered, and Claire realized she wasn't falling for a man who saved her once, she was falling for a man who showed up every single day. Weeks later, at a company family event, Grace tugged at Claire's hand and asked her to play. Claire laughed, genuinely, freely, and Noah saw a side of her he had never seen before, relaxed, real, unguarded. That evening, as the sun dipped low and the crowd thinned, Claire finally spoke the truth she had been holding back. She told Noah that the night at the restaurant had reminded her that strength doesn't mean standing alone, and that his quiet courage had changed her more than he knew. Noah listened, his voice catching when he admitted he never thought someone like her would see someone like him. Claire smiled and told him that he was exactly who she had been waiting for without realizing it. They didn't rush, they didn't make promises they couldn't keep, they simply chose to walk forward together, carefully, honestly, with Grace at the center of it all. And in the end, it wasn't power, success, or money that brought them together. It was kindness. The kind that shows up without being asked. The kind that protects without demanding credit. The kind that quietly changes lives. And sometimes, if you're brave enough to offer it, kindness becomes love.